Thank you, uh, Capsec. Let me, of course, greet all residents and citizens of our country on this Monday morning, and also to recognize the presence of the Honorable Joseph Isaac, the Minister responsible for disaster management, Mr. Pascal, the head of the Office of Disaster Management, and Mr. Alexander, the Senior Met Officer, and of course the media present. I wish to urge all our citizens and residents to take heed of all of the advisories and guidance provided to us by the Office of Disaster Management, the National Emergency Planning Organization, and of course the Met Office. And as always, we all have access to all mediums of information on the internet and elsewhere, which is fine, but always pay particular heed to that which comes from the ODM, because this is the official source of information for the citizens of Dominica. I also want to say to us that we must not become complacent and then watch the mountains and say, well, there's no rain coming, or watch the sea and there's no rain coming, and that we are seeing bright sunshine outside. We must not be complacent, as recent history would remind us of the importance of us taking heed of all advisories and guidance. And therefore, as indicated by my colleague minister, that at a family level, we need to ensure that we take the actions which we need to take, and the ODM has indicated to us some of the actions which you can take in preparing ourselves for any eventualities. And of course, at the community level as well. Because while the National Emergency Planning Organization has the overall responsibility and mandate to prepare and to plan the country for any natural disaster, it is very important also that we recognize that the planning at this national level would be in futility if we as individuals, as households, as communities, as businesses do not do our own preparations. With heavy rains, we would certainly anticipate or expect landslides, mudslides, and flooding in some parts of the country. And there are some parts of the country that are more susceptible to these occurrences than others. And therefore, we have at the cabinet meeting and the joint cabinet meeting with the National Emergency Planning Organization executive arm, we have mandated the Ministry of Health to do an inventory and an audit of every health center in Dominica to ensure that they have adequate basic pharmaceuticals and medicines at hand, especially in highly vulnerable communities, which are usually cut off from the rest of the country as a result of landslides. So I speak, for example, of communities like Campbell. I speak of communities in Bells and Petit Soufre, Saint-Sauveur, Delis, Bacatel and Fonseja and Fab. These communities in particular, among others, we need to pay particular attention to where landslides and mudslides are concerned. Also, those of us who reside along riverbanks, we need to take particular caution. With the likelihood of rain, you may have a challenge, and therefore you have to be mindful of your environment. We have also placed the police on alert and to ensure that they are able to respond to any requests for rescuing people or getting people out of harm's way, that the police is prepared for this. And the Ministry of Public Works has also been mandated, as is customary, to ensure that heavy equipment are placed and located in strategic points, so that, again, for any eventualities, landslides, roads need to be cleared, fallen trees need to be cleared, that we have equipment already stationed in those communities, and therefore causing access to those communities could be done much quicker. We will have another press briefing at 5:30 this afternoon, where we expect the Ministry of Health, the police, the Ministry of Public Works, and the WASCO to give an update on the actions which they have taken and the cooperation and understanding which they will require from the general public. I would suggest to us that we may want to fill our utensils at home with water, because we would expect at some point, and of course we'll be advised by DOASCO at 5:30 this afternoon, at some point, that the water system will be shut off in order to preserve and protect the stored water from turbidity and getting impacted, and we have no use for it. So at some point, DOASCO will advise us when would the water system be shut off, to ensure that we would have drinking water for citizens. So it's important for us to fill our utensils or empty containers so that we have adequate water stored for drinking and cooking purposes. Again, we just want to reiterate, there's no need for any one of us to be in any panic mode. There is no need for any one of us to be over anxious, and there is no need for us to shut down the country. So there'll be no shutting down of the country. We'll continue our daily duties, and as the hours go by and the advisories come in the set schedule, I believe the next one is at 2 o'clock, or 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and we shall rely on the 5 o'clock to give you further updates and so forth. So look around your surroundings, make sure that the potential hazards are eliminated or eradicated, that you collect water. Again, there's no need to panic. If you know a senior citizen in your community who needs water collected, please help. Let us reach out to each other in this time of preparation. And we shall continue to pray for ourselves as we also pray for our brothers and sisters in the southern part of the Caribbean. So this is it for us for this morning. So let us take the precautionary measures. As we know, let us not take anything for granted. Let us not be complacent. I do not have to refresh our memories or juggle our memories in respect to these disasters that have caused immense and untold damage and destruction to our country. And this is the season we're living in, and even outside of the season, we have those experiences and occurrences, as we saw in 2013 with the Christmas Eve trough. So those of us who live in next to rivers and so forth, be particularly mindful of ravines, be particularly mindful of the need for us to take precautionary measures. So again, work shall continue as was the case on Friday past. So let us continue to be watchful, and please listen to the 5:30 update, and by then, whatever additional information or new information we shall transmit to the general public. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.